Jonathan Frakes direct it like he had for the past two.
Yeah.
That guy's just a good director.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
But so my other main problem with, besides the fact that it was too focused on action for a Star Trek movie, that was the other major problem I had with In the Darkness is it tried to do way, way, way too much. Mm-hmm. Okay. So this is where we're going to get into spoiler territory. So, again, I apologize if you haven't seen the movie and we spoil it for you, but it's a good movie. Go see it anyway. But this is what they try to do. There is the Spock and Kirk dynamic. There is the Kirk trying to gain the confidence to command his ship again. There's the Kirk learning, those are two angles. There's the Kirk dealing with his ability, trying to deal with death. That's that angle. There is there's the moral conflict of Starfleet sending out a ship to assassinate somebody. Mm-hmm. That's another angle. There is the moral quandary of Star Trek, Starfleet, whether it's a military organization or a exploration organization. There is the conflict between the villain. Can we say who the villain is?
Yes, we can.
Okay, the villain is Khan.
Yeah.
Khan! And that made it into the movie, too. So there's the conflict between Khan and Kirk. There's the conflict between Khan and the Admiral. There's the conflict between the Admiral and his daughter. And then there's the conflict between Uhura and Spock. There's a lot going on in this movie.
I wasn't sure, okay, can we bring this? Someone brought this up online. It's a great point.
Yeah?
Khan didn't do anything. Kirk was fixing the ship.
Yeah.
Because Peter Weller broke it.
Yeah.
Because he shot it. Khan didn't do anything.
No. The only the one thing, everyone's like, Khan is the most evil person on the ever, and I'm like, he shot 3 guys.
Yeah.
Technically, the Admiral's more evil than that because he woke him up and has attempted war crimes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He's far more of an evil guy. That's why I thought that they should have kept. Now, not that Benedict Cumberbatch did a bad job as Khan. I thought he did an absolutely fantastic job as Khan. Mm-hmm. But I felt what would have benefited is if they focused just on the Admiral being evil, focusing on him, and focusing maybe on Kirk and Spock's building their relationship. Some of the other minor character relationships we could have had in there, but focused on Kirk trying to learn how to responsibly command his ship. If they focused on that and focused on him with the Admiral, we could have had a tighter movie. And then in the third, but still had Khan in that movie, and then at the end of the second movie, have Khan do something, and that sets him up do something absolutely barbarous, absolutely so loathsome that it's like, okay, that guy he's a villain and I don't like him anymore. And then set him up for the main villain of the third movie, because not only was he introduced in the second movie, and we get to see, he's strong and he's smart and he's fast and he's better than the Enterprise crew in every way, but then we get motivation for why we want the Enterprise crew to track him down and stop him.
Yeah, you're right. It was overly ambitious in its plotting. Too many character dynamics.
You know what it's similar to?
I need focus. What?
Spider-Man 3. Too much stuff going on in Spider-Man 3. Too much stuff going on in this movie. If they focused on one villain in Spider-Man 3, then...
that movie was bad.
And it sucks because I love Venom.
Well, that's the problem. There are 3 villains in Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
And the issue is that, 2 of them are actually good. And one of them is Large Sand Dude.
Yeah.
And Large Sand Dude is a bad villain.
Sandman is not a villain that can hold his own movie. It's not like Dr. Octopus or Green Goblin or Venom or Carnage or... I don't know, I'm sure, even Scorpion would do a better job, and I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, but I honestly think that Sandman would be a good villain. Him and Rhino, or him and another lesser-known villain would do pretty good in a movie. I'm okay having Spider-Man fight 2 villains if the 2 villains are partners, but each villain in Spider-Man 3 had way too many motivations and cross channels and
way too complicated.
It's way too complicated for it, because it's not like it's a TV show. If this Star Trek series was a TV show and they had 20 to 26 episodes to flesh out these characters, it would have been better. It could have been fine to focus on all that stuff. Yeah. But where you only have a 2.5 hour movie, is that what was runtime?
Star Trek?
Yeah.
It was 2 hours and 12 minutes.
Oh, you're good.
I believe 132 minutes. I think, if I remember from the IMDb correctly.
Yeah, it's 133.
Oh, sorry, I was 1 minute off.
But whatever. So, but I mean, that's not a lot of time to get all this stuff across. You can't do it effectively. So maybe I felt like it was being overly ambitious. Now, a lot of the stuff that they touch on, they do a good job. It just goes by very, very quickly.
I think a big problem also is that people are going to blame. People are going to say this is a symptom with movies. I don't know why. J.J. Abrams is a name that everyone knows.
Yeah.
And so people think he has control over everything in the movie. He's the director. He did not write this movie.
No.
It is entirely on the fault of the writers, of which there was one extra this time around.
Yeah.
They added one to the team who has worked with them a bunch of times. And it's the guy who did Cowboys and Aliens. And also he did Prometheus. It's Damon Lindelof. They added him to the team this time, and maybe I actually like Damon a lot, and I think he has a lot of potential in the sci-fi world. Because
unlike Cowboys and Aliens and Prometheus were terrible.
Unlike most people, I didn't mind those movies. I thought they had potential. I thought there was a movie in there.
Oh yeah, they had
tons
tons of potential. He just needs to focus.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he needs. You know what? That's it. We're gonna blame Damon Lindelof now because it's probably his fault because he has no focus at all. Because Prometheus also has way too many characters.
Yeah,
and no time to focus on any of them.
I felt what should have happened is David Lindelof should have maybe taken the reins because he has a lot of great ideas, but then the other two writers should have reined them in. Yeah, he's like, okay, you've said you want to do 10 things, we'll let you do 2. Pick 2 of your favorites.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He'll get Damon Lindelof to a top 10 Star Trek villains. It's like, all right, Damon, you get to pick 2. Which ones are you going to pick? And we're only going to use those. And
of course, he would pick the Borg and the Ferengi, and we'd be like,
well, exactly. Crap. Yeah. It looks like a Star Trek movie. It looks like a J.J. Abrams Star Trek, and that's nice.
It also looks like a Star Wars movie.
Yes. It doesn't. It looks but does not sound like a Star Trek movie.
No, I thought the sound was better in the first one.
So did I.
Just because there's a bunch of scenes in very early on, when the I think it was called the Narada, which was Nero's big ship, was firing on the USS Kelvin at the beginning of the movie. There's a scene where a photon torpedo hits the Kelvin, and all the crew members get sucked out into space, and then the camera follows them out into space, and as everyone's screaming in the ship, and as soon as you go out into space, there's just silence.
Amazing work.
I thought it was very well done cinematography. There is no scene like that where there's just silence. Now there was really one well done scene where Captain Pike dies. Or Admiral Pike, I think he was at this point.
Yeah, they keep promoting these guys.
he dies, and there's a very quiet moment where you just see Kirk and Spock's reaction, and all it just is just music that's played. I thought that was kind of well done.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there's a scene where, what's the scene where they're in space? Kirk and Khan.
Oh, where they leap out of the thing and they play an in space racing game.
Yeah, actually that was kind of a cool idea. But there's bombastic music playing, and you can hear the sound of the jets and stuff. I thought it would have been better if it was just silent and you just had the characters talking.
It would have been it would have been
or
a cool
very
scene,
low key music. You know what I mean?
See, that's what I need. I need dialogue. I felt there was a lot of scenes where dialogue was not there and should have been.
I didn't get that as much because I'm a big believer in show don't tell. So I like it when actors when they allow their facial expressions just to convey emotion. Good example of that is in Lord of the Rings. There's a scene in the second movie where Frodo and Sam are kind of sitting down and Sam says, "There's just about enough food left," and Frodo's like, "For what?" And then Sam's like, "For the journey home." And then in the book, I think Frodo says something like, "Oh, Sam, if we get to Mordor," and "Oh, Sam, if we..." It's like a 3-page long monologue, and it's nice. It's very well written. But in the movie, Frodo just gives Sam this look that says, "I don't think we're making it home," and then that's the end of that scene.
Another one. Have you seen Children of Men?
No, I kind of wanted to.
To me, it's the quintessential example of that. There's a lot of acting in Children of Men.
Yeah.
I know that sounds kind of weird because don't all movies have acting? No, they don't. But yeah, Children of Men is the classic of that for me. Well, we're going to take a quick break here.
Yep.
So stay tuned.
Listen to 93.5 CHMR FM every Sunday night from 8 to 9 p.m. for completely improvised acts. Who's Got the Mic is the name of the show, and what you'll hear are things completely made up on the spot by our performers. It's sure to be a barrel of laughs. Be sure to check us out on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Who's Got the Mic. Again, that's every Sunday night, 8 to 9 p.m. Be sure to tune in.